Hi guys, it's Allie, and today we are going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I was not explicitly tagged in this tag, but I did see two lovely people, both Chandler Ainsley and Liz Cullen at the Lazy Booktuber. They have both done this tag, and I was inspired to do it myself. So Liz said at the end of her video that she was not going to tag anybody specifically, but that anybody could feel free to feel tagged if they so choose. So I'm going to consider myself tagged by Liz Cullen, so I will leave her video linked below for you guys to go check out. And without further ado, let's get into these questions. Category number 1 is the best book you've read so far in 2019, and that one is undoubtedly going to go to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, which is just a fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful book. I absolutely adore this book. You're probably going to see it popping up for another couple answers to these questions, but this is definitely the best book I've read so far. Category number 2 is the best sequel that you have read in 2019 so far, and that one for me is going to go to Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Renegades trilogy. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a improvement upon the first one, which a lot of second book in a series can't claim, but I thought this one even went farther than the first one did, added a lot more intrigue and a lot more drama, and is really setting up for a really cool third book in the end. So definitely this one so far. Category 3 is a new release that you have not read yet but want to. That one for me is going to be a bit of a cheat answer because it's not a new release, but it is new to me. It's not a book that I had on my radar until recently, and I still have not been able to actually get to it. That is going to go to A Winter's Promise, which I planned on buddy reading with Elizabeth Cullen and Alexandra Rosalind, and out of the three of us, I think that Liz is the only one who's actually read it like we promised. The rest of us were, Lexi and I are kind of behind the times on that, so I look forward to reading this one and look forward to talking about it with everybody else who's read it, but I have not gotten to it quite yet. Number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. That one is probably going to go to Deviate, which is the second book in the Lifelike series. I just got finished reading Lifelike. That is the most recent book that I read, so I am most excited to read the next book in that series. I think it's July 25th is when it comes out. That's not super far away, but currently that is my most anticipated read for the second half of 2019. Number 5 is biggest disappointment of the first half of the year. Honestly, I don't know that I've had like a huge disappointment. There have been books that I've read that weren't exactly what I was expecting them to be, but none that I disliked because of that. I guess if I had to choose one, maybe Serafina, which I read early in the year as a buddy read with some of my friends from college, because it just didn't grab me in the way that I was hoping that it would, but it was still a very fun read, so it wasn't really that much of a disappointment. I don't know. I can't like spill the tea on any of the books I've read so far. They've all been pretty good. Number 6 is biggest surprise. For that one, I think I'm going to go with Lifelike, which I just finished reading recently, and I just did a review of it, so you can go check that out if you want. It's spoiler free, so you can watch it even if you've not read the book, but that one was very surprising to me in the sense that it is an Anastasia retelling, and I did not really know anything about the book going into it other than that it was written by Jay Kristoff, who is very well liked among the bookish community. So I really went into it just blind, thinking I would figure out how this person writes, but I ended up really enjoying the book, and it ended up being an Anastasia retelling, which is very close to my heart. If you want to hear more about that, watch the review. But yeah, so that one was the biggest and most pleasant surprise so far. Number 7 is favorite new or debut author, or just someone that is new to you, and for that I'm going to go with Hank Green, once again with An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. This is the first book he's written, the first book that I have read by him, obviously. I absolutely adore Hank Green's writing style and just the way that he speaks through the character's voice, and I just love it a lot, so definitely gonna go with Hank Green for this one. Number 8 is newest fictional crush. To be honest, I don't really have fictional crushes anymore. I don't know if that's because I am just kind of past the age demographic of most YA characters now. In short, I don't really have one. Sorry. Number 9 is newest favorite character. This one is equally hard to answer, but not because I don't have one at all, but because I don't have the ability to narrow it down to just one. I really have enjoyed all of the characters from every book that I've read so far this year. I really just enjoy characters in general, so I guess I don't really have a specific answer for that one either. Sorry. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. Does this surprise anybody? Number 11 is a book that made you happy. All books make me happy. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you have bought so far this year or received. This one is actually a tie, and they're both books that I bought on Kindle, so I technically don't have them, but the covers are just gorgeous, and that is going to go to either King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo or The Wicked King by Holly Black. Those are just gorgeous covers, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Finally, number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Hopefully A Winter's Promise, at least, but hopefully a lot more than that. I also need to finish the latest book in the Throne of Glass series. I also need to finish the latest book by Cassandra Clare. I need to finish a bunch of other books and anything else that might come my way. I don't know. I haven't really given much attention to exactly what's on my TBR. Suffice it to say that there's a lot. And that is it for this tag. I have not actually read a ton of books so far this year, which is crazy because at first I was reading like crazy and then I just went through this drought where I did not read a lot at all. I still think I would have chosen a lot of the same stuff regardless, especially with An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I probably would have used that in a lot of these categories anyway because I absolutely adore that book. But I hope that I will be able to read a bunch more in the second half of the year. If you have any recommendations, do leave them below. I'm going to try to make a more organized TBR of books that I want to read, rather than just kind of picking off the shelf whatever kind of suits my fancy at the moment. And that is pretty much it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tag. I hope you will leave some recommendations or some thoughts about the books that I did mention. And that is going to be it for this week. So if you liked this video, give it a like, and if you like my content, do subscribe. I make videos every Friday, and I will see you guys in the next video.